Every home has a unique story to tell. A story of what was before and what came after. And the story from B to A is the most exciting one of all. We're about to see if these architects, builders and owners can transform these home dreams into reality. This is Before and After.
On this episode of Before and After, we follow the build from slab to stylings of this Hamptons-inspired home, and we find out the tricks of the trade in achieving this trending look. We're in Mount Kembla, a beautiful semi-rural town set high on the escarpment west of Wollongong. With large blocks and idyllic farm-like settings, it's easy to see why more and more people are being attracted to the simpler way of life, far from the maddening crowd. Paul and Jenna bought this stunning block a few years earlier, and the time has come to build their ultimate dream home.
I grew up in a suburb which was close to here that faced the mountain, so I was coming back to my grassroots, and I wanted my three boys to have the same experience and grow up in a similar quiet environment. They've got a creek in the backyard and a football field, end of a cul-de-sac, and our only neighbour is actually a friend of ours, so it was a perfect location.
Yeah, Mount Kembla is a perfect location for us because we wanted a bit of privacy, the country location, but it is only 15 minutes from Wollongong. So it's 15 minutes for us to go to work in the morning, but when we come home, it's nice and private.
We're on the edge of a mountain here, basically farmland and national parks over the other side.
And for this dream location, there is a dream envisioned. Jenna has definitely done her research and has been deeply involved in the design.
This project here is our dream home. We've looked for a block of land for a long time. We knew we wanted a big flat block of land to build a single level home. It changed quite a bit because we were 4 and then we became 5 right in the middle of the planning stage. But we hope at the end that we'll have a beautiful Hamptons style home, which is what we've always wanted. American architecture, but beautifully finished with a lot of details.
This will be a tricky build to get right. After Paul and Jenna had seen some inspirational houses in the area, they went after the builder. We meet Kai from Line Building Group, who are undertaking the project.
Being in Mount Kembla, they've got the best of both worlds. They're close to the centre of Wollongong. They have the ocean, only a 15-minute drive away, and they're at the foothills of a beautiful, mountain escarpment. So, yeah, it's a great place to grow up. The owners work in the city. So just being able to get away from that after work and just, you're in this beautiful environment, you just can't hear any traffic noise, and it's just a beautiful place. They've got the sound of the creek in the background, which is just beautiful. The contract period is 44 weeks on this project, which sort of ends us at the end of February next year. We have the slab behind us right now. Within about 8 weeks, we should have the roof on. But the devil is in the details. It's the inside, it's all the finer work, the fittings, the fixtures. That's where the detail is in this house. So we'll very quickly get it to a lock-up stage, but it's those finer things on the inside that are really going to take their time. It's where the craftsmanship has to come through. Yeah, February he should be diving into that pool, hopefully. The owners have just this morning written their names in the slab. Look, it's a great memory for them, and we do give all of our clients the opportunity, if they're living locally, to do that. And it's a great thing to look back on at the end of the project and show people as they show people through their house.
After the break, the frame is up and Tom checks on the progress. And later we can reveal the finished home. The results will astound you. We're in Mount Kembla, west of Wollongong, to watch the build of this modern Hampton-style home in a beautiful bush setting. Tom meets Paul and Jenna on site to find how it's all been travelling.
I'm a bit of a late starter to this project. Everything's well underway. Your frames are up. How's things going?
Really good, yeah. We couldn't be happier so far. Frames are up, truss is on, guttering's going on this week and roof starts next week, so it's all systems go.
It certainly is a sweet spot. That's my first impression. I was like, it is quiet and it's, lots of tall timber and lots of sky around. So you've got yourself a really fine location. Talk us through the design concept.
Well, we had an original design and had it DA approved, and then we fell pregnant with our third son.
Right, so back to the drawing board.
That's right. We added in another room, and it was brilliant because it allowed us to go back to that design phase and maybe assess the things that we hadn't done properly the first time round. We had an initial lady do our design, Nadine, a local draftsperson. She was brilliant, but we went to Sydney and found an American architect who worked with her to bring in all that real detail and authenticity that we were looking for with our design.
Well, things are really underway. You seem as if you're smiling. I mean, that's the best thing, Like I can tell you're really happy with the way things are going right now.
It's gone really well. The build has been superb. It's quite an organic build, so things have changed a little bit along the way and they're just really accommodating.
Excellent.
So we're quite involved.
Sounds like you're in great hands. Let's go and have a look.
Okay. Jenna is so passionate about the style of her house, and really she is teaching me about this Hampton style as we go. Her knowledge is second to none. She's really she knows all the tiny, minute details that are really going to make this project stand out. So yeah, she's really great to work with.
I love this room though for the boys, so this is going to be a cool place for them to hang out.
That's right, yeah. It leads off their 3 bedrooms and it will just be their zone to have all their things and all that chaos that you can keep away from the rest of the house.
Well, you have it soundproofed. If I had 3 boys, I'd soundproof.
It's a very good idea.
Talk me through the garden, because this is a big block. You've got a lot of space. The retaining walls are all up and stuff, which looks good. Are you going to stick with that Hamptons sort of sprawling lawns?
All down below will all be lawns. Up here we'd like to have a veggie patch, and Paul would really like a fire pit.
Yeah.
Great. I'm a massive fan of the fire pit. I think it's great.
Up here it gets very cold up the mountains.
So, yeah, I'm sure it does. And with all those lawns, you've got 3 boys to mow them, so that is even better.
Perfect.
What sort of style with the windows have you got? Because if I think about Hamptons, it's kind of that double hung timber window.
We couldn't have timber. We're in a bushfire zone.
Oh.
Basically, we're in a bush setting here. We're surrounded by farmland, and we've got a creek too, which is lined with trees. So basically, we are in a high fire rated zone. And that does affect the materials and the products that we use on the project. So, for instance, the James Hardie, the Sky-On Linear was a clear choice for the cladding. Traditionally, a Hamptons project would use timber, but we just couldn't use that on this project. And, James Hardie product is fire rated, it meets all the standards, and so it's a clear choice for the project.
With a house as large as this one, there will be a lot of cladding and a huge window schedule. Tom talks numbers with Kai.
Kai, there is no doubt about it. This is a big house.
It is a big house. Yeah.
How's it all going?
Huge. Look, it's going really well. We've had a little bit of bad run with weather, but look, the frames, that was a monumental task, but we're well and truly, finished that stage now. We're onto the fascia and gutter. Which, that including the roofing is going to be about a 3-week task. So that's how big the project is.
How big's the slab?
The concrete pour, 650 square metres of slab. 150 of that is sort of external.
Yep.
But yeah, it still puts a 500 square metre total on the house.
Yeah, gosh, big. It's exciting when the roof, starts to go on. Yeah, it will take 3 weeks, but once that's done, windows would be next.
Windows are next, that's right,
Okay.
yeah. That's going to be a huge task on this one. Over 80 windows in the house. So really, that is going to take probably 4 or 5 weeks. They're all in series of banks of windows. So we're talking, just a really huge set-out job. Visually, that is the one of the best aspects of this project.
Yeah, for sure. And then once you get the lining boards on, it's really going to start to look like it's...
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Look,
it's
you
happening.
really start to see that style come out.
After the break, we see the house really taking shape, and later we can reveal the finished home in all its glory. We're in Mount Kembla to watch the build of this Hamptons-inspired home in a beautiful bush setting. The next time we meet Kai, the exterior is almost complete.
Right now we're preparing for the plaster to be installed, which is about 2 weeks away. So we've made good progress since you've been here last. Most of the cladding has been installed, as you can see. All the James Hardy products are coming together, and basically we've got a few more windows and doors to install, and then we'll be complete on the outside.
Well, the look is certainly coming together, and for Kai and the team, this site has been a great location to work in.
Yeah, it's been great building down here. It's good. Most of the time we're building on the coast, and there's a lot less wind here, which really does affect your work. So it's much more productive actually. I really think all the hard effort that Jenna and Paul have put into their selections and their staying true to the style is going to pay off. The house is really coming together well, and we're just really excited to see the next stage really.
Well, now we're down to the nitty-gritty. It's all the exciting stuff. So for us, we've got the oval windows going in. Obviously, the pool will start to be completed. All the ceilings, the pine lining, then the cabinetry. It's all the exciting stuff for us now. So although we want the house to look a certain way, we've had to keep it within the budget. So it's just been about the selection process, which parts are more important to us, and keeping it in budget. But at this stage, everything we've chosen is what we thought it would be. We're really happy. We can't actually wait to see some of the things go in.
Well, not long now. After the break, Tom can finally reveal the finished home. Well, the day is finally here. Tom catches up with Paul and Jenna for a tour of this finished house.
Well, Jenna and Paul, congratulations. This is a truly beautiful home. What's your favourite part of the house?
Oh, all of it. I think the flow is amazing. The way the interior turned out, we love. All the little special parts, the coffered ceiling, the oval windows, just all the special parts that we designed and just love them.
Has everything met the brief that you had in mind?
Unbelievably, yep. I actually was saying just before, I had a Pinterest account with what I wanted, and I've created a slideshow for the builder of what I wanted and what he gave me, and it's amazing. It's exactly what I wanted.
I can tell by the smiles on your faces, you guys are very, very happy with this project.
Yeah, I think you visualise something in your head, and then when it just ended up better than I actually imagined. And it was I always thought it was her ideas, but when I got here and when she went through the motions of designing it and decorating it, it came out way better than I thought.
Building the house has been so much fun. All the tradesmen, enjoyed it. I mean, it's been a pleasure coming to work. You're learning something new every day. I mean, the detail that Jenna's put into this has been, just new for all of our carpenters and tradesmen, and everybody's just been happy to come along.
We do a lot of modern work, and it's very minimalist usually. But being involved in a project like this is, it was very exciting. Of course, you've got aesthetics that you want to portray in a project, but function has to be the number one criteria. We were presented with a plan by the architect. From that plan, we worked out, what Jenna's requirements were. So, we wanted a walk-in pantry, like a butler's pantry, so she could keep the mess out the back. And at the same time, it gave us the opportunity to put the laundry on the right-hand side, which was a great benefit because, like when she's preparing meals and she's got a busy and a young family, she can be working in the kitchen, she can be operating the laundry at the same time. It just ticked all the boxes. Because at the end of the day, you can build something that's beautiful, but if it doesn't work and it doesn't meet their requirements, that's no good to anybody.
What was once the forgotten room of the house, laundries these days are very important. We find out from Eamon just how far they've come.
Look, I think laundries now, they're no longer the forgotten room. Well, the old laundries with the old stop taps and the old metal rusty trough and cab, think of the past. You now find that the quality of the product that they use in their kitchen does flow into the laundry as well, so that you've got that theme and they're all working together and they're not two separate design elements, they're all fused into one. It's more about the practicality of a laundry. People are looking for additional storage. The mixes that we use in our laundries are much more thought about. People use their nice big laundry tubs these days to soak their doonas and things like that and give them a good clean. And if it's party time, you can use it as a temporary esky as well. It's about the surfaces, it's about the stone, it's about the mixer, and obviously as much practical storage as you can get into a laundry.
What about the budget? How have you gone budget-wise?
I'm married to an accountant. That's all I have to say.
Just a little bit above budget.
Just a
little bit over budget. Yeah, a little bit over.
I think it always happens. It's the finishing touches.
Yeah.
You get in and you think, well, now there's still the turf to do. We still want to, put a gate on the front. We want to do all the special little things. They were probably not in our original budget, but we've worked towards it. We've scaled things back to add extra things in. So we're pretty happy overall.
The idea of the Hamptons feel is it's a very country-based feeling, obviously. The pool needs to maintain its simplicity. The pool is an extension of the outdoor space. So this pool is not separated, this pool is an extension. So we combine those spaces with the use of similar flooring material, and we combine it through the location. Commonly, an example is this job here where we put the pool structure in first. So whilst we've got access, we put the pool structure in and the house gets built around that structure. With that process and schedule in mind, it's important to consider the pool and consider the pool design as part of that outdoor space. It's a functional aspect of your home for 6 to 8 months of the year, especially on the beautiful south coast of New South Wales. But the rest of the time it is, it's a viewing platform. So we're getting a water view 24/7.
The entranceway to your house is just spectacular.
We had to have aluminium windows throughout the whole house for the bow rating, but the front door was one thing we weren't going to compromise on. We wanted a wooden front door. So to get that wooden front door, it had to be mobile. We had to have it painted in a special way and it had to be pushed back a few metres. But pushing that front door back created that beautiful porched area, which actually worked in our favour. It actually makes the entrance more grand than having it flat to the front of the house. So the bow rating actually worked for us there.
Well, it's a bushfire attack level rating. There's about 6 different bowl ratings that you can get, and it goes from the very low to the extreme risk of a bushfire attack level. So this house was rated different bowl levels depending on the facade or the elevation that was facing the vegetation that you have in the area. They did some setbacks of the facade from the actual boundary lines to reduce the requirements. That allowed them to use some timber in their windows. Some areas they still couldn't use timber, so what they did is they did a combination of our accent trim, which is a fiber cement batten that looks like timber, and they used a combination of aluminium windows, and that gave them still the illusion of a timber window. The reason linear is compliant to BAL 40 is because it's a non-combustible material. It can perform against fire, but it can perform as well against rotting, against termite attacks because of not being wood. Also, the stability in terms of the harsh conditions that you get in the Australian weather, it means that the paint can last longer. In this building, they've used Skyon Linear, the 180 profile. They've used Hardy Groove for all of the eaves, and this is like a groove panel. Then we also have Hardy Flex in some of the areas like gables, and that was to break the look of it and give that traditional Hamptons look.
You know, I've learned a lot through this process. Jenna knows Hamptons a lot And so through the process, I've picked up, these little details, very, I guess, masculine features, but feature, rather than, simple. Everything she's done just looks awesome. We love it.
Something that we're so passionate about, something I loved so much, it was never a chore.
No.
Every time we saw a room come together, we just loved it. This has been a dream for us to build this house.
Would you do it again?
No, I'm staying here forever.
I wouldn't build something for us again, because this is it. This is our dream home.
Yeah.
This is where we want to be, the area, the house, everything, every last little bit. It was stressful all the way through, especially with 3 children and Ethan being so young, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Have you had a housewarming?
Not yet.
Oh, many. Easter, the first week
Easter,
we were here.
Yeah, we had a few little parties here
And
so
I think
far.
there'll be a few more to come.
I bet. This is a great house for entertaining and for bringing up a family. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it, a beautiful home in an equally beautiful location. With the help of these builders, the owners here have succeeded in bringing their dream home into reality.